gender equality, economic growth, promote social justice, foster innovation, enhances decision-making, and empowers future generations. Let us all support and empower women leaders as we work together to create a more inclusive and a prosperous world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hello. Are we happy? Are we happy? Can you hear my voice this morning? Good morning, everyone. This is a very fantastic session. You know, they have been distracting me. Most of the lectures I didn't attend. So I've been fighting them. They distract me. I said, I have not learned any much. So I think I need to contact some of you to learn what you have learned. But honestly, because I feel bad that I missed most of these topics. So that's one of the consequences of hosting also, or coordinating the activities. So I end up not really being part of the entire thing. Even the pictures, when I see them on the platform, I start wondering, is it really this place? Because I haven't really gone round. But anyway, thank you very much. Our speakers, wonderful, sharing experiences from our senior officers. I think it's a good thing. Actually, we were thinking of having one particular session, like a generational thing, where we will have some of our retired officers sitting on one side, serving senior officers sitting in the middle, and the younger ones sitting on this side. So we now say, how was it during their time? What is it? And then they have left. What are they hoping that we, the next leaders that are sitting down, what are they looking? What do they want to see? And then we will now also talk to the young one and see this is what we expect from them. And then the young one will also tell us what is it that they want us to leave behind for them to do that. Really, I think I spoke with you about it. Well, maybe time, but I don't know how we can look at it. Even if it's 20 minutes, it will make a huge difference. Let us know just the generational change, what has happened, and what do we expect. What do the young ones expect to see from us? What do they want to see in the next, let's say 2024 now, let's say by 2050, where at this position, how do you want to see the African female law enforcement officers? Where do we want to see ourselves? I think it's something that we need to. But anyways, okay. And very importantly, I want to welcome all our guest speakers. Some of them have been with us as sisters, but we also have other speakers that have joined us. I have Dr. Adobi Nwakuche. You remember during the opening ceremony, I said that one of the big insurance companies in Nigeria has given us free cover, insurance cover for whatever. God forbid, we don't want anything to happen, but in case it happens, they said they are ready to cover all the expenses, whatever happens. And she's a beautiful lady, the managing director of Veritas Insurance. She's here with us to share her experience as a leader. We also have another big sister of mine, a colleague, Dr. Julie Sander, who has been with the National Defense College, but now she's been given higher responsibility. She's now a Director General at the Security Institute that just established, Institute of Peace Building. in Plateau State. She came all the way from Jos to be part of this program. And already we know our Hiposhi, the MD of New Central, always with us. And then we have our sister also, who is also going to talk briefly, Yvonne. I just came back. Okay. She's going to school. Then we have our daddy, the man that is grounded when it comes to politics. A professor is going to. He has refused to talk. Okay. Africa's security challenges and the African police. I can tell you, he's well grounded. So with this caliber of resource persons, I said it right from the opening ceremony that we intentionally selected these people to speak. Let me tell you one big thing that's going to happen today. When Akintebi called me out, you saw he just dragged me out. He just gave me the good news, and he said this session about leadership is very important. And he has shut down New Central, every program down. The New Central Television is going to start running live. So just put your head there very well and see. Let them see how strong the women law enforcement officers are from Africa. Everywhere in 52 African countries, they are going to be watching us live. Can we give this gentleman? Before I even say clap, everybody is clap. So are we happy? So what didn't go wrong today? Everything is right. Thank you and good morning.
Let's give our mommy a round of applause as she returns to her seat. And the link for that live broadcast is going to be out. We are going to put it on the platform so you can send it to your friends all over Africa, all over the globe. Share the link so they can watch us live discussing it. Now we are going to bring up the moderator of this session. Okay, it's already on the platform. So we bring up the moderator of this session in the person of Dr. M.M. Obong Uko from the University of Abuja. She's a professor of gender studies and theater arts. She's a creative artist, and she's going to be taking us through this session. She'll be moderating the panelist session, so she will introduce the panelists.
Thank you so much, DCP Grace. Can we put our hands together for her again? I'd like us to please celebrate our veterans, the last two speakers, for bringing, the perspective, the energy, wow, and making the entire thing look so real and practical. I celebrate you, ladies. Please clap, clap, clap for them again. Thank you so much. It's such a privilege to be here. I'd like to, without wasting time, invite our seasoned panelists. Our mother in the house, I love her so much. Our AIG, Dr. Aisha, has already, attempted an introduction of some of the speakers, seasoned, accomplished women and men in their own rights. Please, as I call them up, could you help me just celebrate them? Thank you so much. All right, first on my list is Dr. Adaobi Nwakuche, the Managing Director Veritas Insurance. You're welcome. Okay, please take a seat. May I respectfully invite our second panelist for this morning, Dr. Julie Sander. Could you please celebrate her as she comes? All right, the third personality here. Oh, please, you can sit anywhere on the second seat. All right. You know that we all love to listen to. Anytime she comes up here, everybody is smiling because I'm looking forward to hear. Are you happy today? Because I'm going to make sure everything works to make you happy. Please celebrate her. AIG Dr. Aishatu Abubakar Baji, MNI, our own mother and convener of this conference. Thank you so much. So pleased to have you. Please can you have a seat? All right, can you also please welcome the second one? It's fine. This is okay. This is fine. Mr. Kayode Akinfemi, MD, News Central TV, our very own he or she. Thank you so much for that magnanimity, putting us on live television. Can you celebrate him some more? It's such a pleasure having you, sir. You're welcome. All right, the next on my list here, Dr. Uche Odims. I hope I pronounced that well. Okay, he's the co-founder, Africa Women Impact Summit. Could you please just celebrate him as he comes? All right, but finally, and not the least, is Miss Yvonne Ebi. Miss Yvonne Ebi. Please just clap and celebrate her as she comes. Okay, I believe, can we have another microphone? Because we will need one, definitely. Okay, I'd love to be your center. Do you mind? Would you mind? Okay. Thank you, thank you. You know, it's such a pleasure, truly, just sitting beside accomplished, the ladies first, you know, and then the men, the he for she, this morning, as we take on this very, very important topic. The topic I have in my notes is actually female leadership dynamics. Okay, I hope we have learned, you know, so much so far. The last two presentations were really not just mind-blowing, enlightening, and also teaching us so much about leadership. The first one on ethical leadership, and the second one, you know, on embracing women leadership for the future. And I could, you know, hear that from the heartbeat of the presenters, both Dr. Leah and Dr. Kwe, both of them really were insistent on being an effective leader for the next generation. Women police officers, you need to work towards being an ethical leader because you have the next generation and a legacy to leave. You know, that last illustration was really so powerful. And then the second presenter, Dr. Gray, wow, so passionate as she gave her life stories. As you could see her putting all her passion in it. Because at the end of the day, there is no leader without followers. You can't say you were a leader if you left nothing behind at the end of your leadership, in quotes, if you were occupying a leadership position. All right, but this morning in the house, we have a distinguished, seasoned, guest to do justice to it. I'd like to ask us to start by introducing ourselves again. We'll just kindly introduce ourselves, just a little bit of what you do. And as you're talking about that, can you bring in a leadership perspective to what you do as well? So if we can start from there. Can I start from my immediate, my neighbor? Okay, Dr. Uche, from you. I know Yvonne had picked the microphone, but okay. Oh, wow. Did you hear her? Please give her the microphone. That needs to be louder. A leader must take initiative. So even before I called on who to start, she took the initiative and picked the microphone. So I think Yvonne should start. That gives her the image.
Thank you so much. I think we have to simplify and make this very relatable. We have to go home with something. I came all the way from Lagos State, so I didn't come here for I came here for something. It has to be meaningful, it has to be relevant, it has to be practical, it has to be relatable. My name is Yvonne Ebi, and I run a corporate finishing school. In summary, what we do is we want to change the attitude narrative from the classroom to the boardroom. I'm sick and tired of people labeling us from the way we carry ourselves as bush and as people that have no worth. Listen, as African women, we are strong and confident. We are intelligent. I don't know where they got the message from that we are not, but we are. And we are going to buy our perception and by our intentional leadership, show people how to lead. Every woman, should I continue? You're not a man. You're not a man, you're a woman. Let's stop trying to outdo. There's no basis for comparison. An apple is an apple, an orange is an orange. As a woman, you have profound abilities. Remember as your mother at home, she just come in and say something is wrong. Who told her? In every house you have a police called your mother. She just says something is wrong and nobody told her. And you're wondering you covered all your tracks. But she says something is wrong and something is wrong. She said the way your eyes are, you're looking like you're guilty. And she'll find out. Put your hands together for the women. So I'm saying that let's bring that back to the table. Don't shy away, don't be apologetic about being a woman. Be a woman, wear your wig, put your lipstick, put your shoulders high, and get it done.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Yvonne, for that. You know, I also heard Dr. Leah resonating that women don't lose your femininity. Leadership is not masculine. You can still be a woman and get to the top of your game. Thank you so much, Yvonne. And welcome all the way from Lagos. Good to have you. All right, Dr. Julie.
Okay,
Sander.
Thank you. I'm Julie Sander. I'd like to start on that note of, be a woman, your femininity, you bring it to the table and all of that. I worked for nearly 30 years in a military environment. And so, these are some of the points the General made in her presentation earlier. For a very long time, I was the only woman in my own space. So the only models I had were my male colleagues and my male seniors. And I have to say to the credit of the men that many of my mentors were men because that's the only environment I had. And they did a good job. Professor Lamika, thank you, sir. You're one of my mentors. on the academic side. He kept pushing me. He kept pushing me. But in the military circle where I worked, you know, they were all men. So they had their good sides. But the downside of it is that I began to lose my femininity because these were the pictures I saw. And, you know, to be on the right side, I had to look like them. I also had to kind of negate who I was, okay, just so that I would fit in. And these are things that happen unconsciously. And I'm explaining this so that, you know, some of the hard knocks we give ourselves as women leaders in uniformed services, we should be a bit kinder to ourselves. Because this is the environment in which many of us grew up, talking about generationally now. But as I kept growing my leadership and, you know, with some of my good mentors and getting involved in gender work over the years, I began to be intentional about being a woman leader, okay? So you go in a leadership position, and that's as I grew up in the profession, because you said, where do we come from? And I experienced it. As I grew up, of course, I became into leadership position. I began to be more conscious about who I was as a leader. And I've been hearing the word intentionality here. We have to be intentional as women leaders. You go into a room, you sit at a table as a leader. Nobody's just going to look at you as a leader. They're going to look at you as a woman leader. So we have to be intentional about our leadership as women. And so that forced me to begin to look at myself as a leader. In growing my leadership, I had to begin to change some of my paradigms, even from the context and some of the mentorship that I had received. And honestly, very practical, like you said, I dropped my trouser suits because I was always in trousers. Because that helped me to just mix with the crowd. Okay, I didn't wear a tie. Because that helped me to just not be noticed. And they were dark colors. Because I didn't like the fact that I always stood out as a sore thumb. If we go into the meetings, we go into lectures and whatever, I was the only one. And so unconsciously, I was doing that. But by the time I started studying and trying to grow my leadership, I know I had to change. And so fast forward, now I work, so later, like I said, I became involved in a lot of work with, gender, with uniformed services here in Nigeria. We've done a lot of gender responsiveness. So fast forward now, this year I took up the role as, in the peace building, fully in the peace building sector. Of course, my work also came from the peacekeeping. And so I'm in charge of the organization now. But some of the lessons I had learned growing up, I am trying now, I'm intentional again about how my workplace is, how the younger women, because all the women are younger. Some of the traits that I had in the environment I was coming from, I have dropped them intentionally. I'm also very conscious, very conscious. General gave us those two slides, very striking. I am very conscious that I am leaving a positive feeling for them about having a woman as a boss. I'm very intentional about it, and you can ask my people even without me being there. Even the ones that I left to where I came from, they could see the difference, over the years, and they will gossip among themselves. They said, Ma has changed. If a new person comes in, they say, you're lucky you came at this time. I was intentional, I'll tell you the truth. I grew up in, like I said, I took up also some negative traits which were a bit toxic, but deliberately I worked on them, and today I have a very good working relationship with my female colleagues.
Wow, so that's so awesome. Thank you for that perspective, Dr. Sanda. And one thing that stood out for me, what she said, is the issue of mentorship, mentoring others. Sometimes even the mentorship is from afar, Dr. Julie. The people may not even be close to you, but as a leader, you need to be conscious that people are watching your every move. All right, thank you. So can we listen to, before we come to you, Dr. Uche, remember that the women are here. It's our thing. So women leadership. Okay, don't mind me. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, my name is Dr. Uche, and I actually want to start with this. There are two kinds of life you can live as a person. One is a wasted life, and that wasted life is a life where you live for frivolities. What you wear, what you drink, hanging out, having fun. It's beautiful. For me, when I speak in leadership conferences, I always tell them that give just 20%, that's if you are a hyper person, to entertainment. The other 80% should be for something. Now, the question is this. When you die and leave this world, I'm yet to see anybody that died, and what people are remembering is the Rolls Royce you drive, the cars or the money, billions, whether by looting or whatever and stuff. What people remember is the investment impact. So there are two lives, wasted life and invested life. What I want you to leave this conference with is leave this place to be someone that every 1 minute counts. Life is too short. Some of you now are 40 something. Add another 30, 35, 40. You're already an ancestor already, and the rest of it. There's no time. You need to invest your life in someone, and that's the most important thing. Now, what I'm talking to you about right now is exactly what people like us are doing. My name is Dr. Uche. Interestingly, because of the investments we do, let me give you an example. We run a foundation called the African Women Impact Summit. From last year to this year, she said, wow, that's our foundation. Myself and Dr. Davis, my co-founder, we actually founded that platform. Now, from last year till now, with the help of a lot of great people and all, we have trained about 3,500 women. Women directly.
Oh, wow, can you please celebrate that?
Now, I'm not telling you political speech. You know there are people that come out on stage and just talk. No, I mean in practical terms, women. And people always ask us, Dr. Uche, why is it that you people are thinking of women? Of course, that's the reason. Also, let me add this one to you. I am the lead consultant to this particular program. Mama saw, yeah, most of you don't know. That's the truth. We are the lead consultants. Fashion out what you're saying. Mama AIG Aisha, she saw us on the line of duty on impact and said, hey, come on, I want you people to come work with us and all. And ask her, we're giving out all our all because of love for women. Love for women, yeah, that's the whole idea. So, you know, there are two kinds of people, professors and practitioners. We practice what we preach. Now, talking to you right now, there's another platform we have called African Advancement Forum. We have done programs in about 14 different countries. 14. Now, that particular platform seeks to bring inter-trade relationship between Africa and the rest of the world. And it's been making wonderful impact around the world for people, both for women, both for men and the rest of it. What am I saying in essence? If you are here, if you are alive and your life is not counting, you are just merely existing. Let your life start counting for people. And that's actually the only way the world is celebrating. I see a lot of world changers here. Can I see your hands up in the air? If you know you're a world changer, wave your hands in the air. Wow. I see IG of police rising up in this place. I see army generals rising up in this place. Wow. Who told you a woman cannot be chief of staff or the army general? Stop, talk to your neighbor, say, neighbor, stop looking down on yourself. Push your neighbor, say, hey, 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 hey. Tell that person you are a great woman. And I celebrate you. Welcome, everybody.
Wow, was that a wow or what? You know, Dr. Uche is not just a consultant and one of the people that... I wanted to say Dr. Uche is also a prophet. Wow, prophesying to the women leaders in this room. And I see that too. I see a female inspector general of police rising. Amen. Thank you, sir. We heard you loud and clear. All right. Okay, thank you, my sister, the CEO of Veritas Insurance. Okay, can we have you now?
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I hope I'll be able to keep up with Uche's tempo after he has already made the hall hot. Okay, so my name is Dr. Adoduwan Uche. I'm the MD CEO of Veritas Capital Assurance PLC. We are one of the leading insurance companies in Nigeria, and we're a publicly quoted company. And in the last 2 quarters of this year, we have been announced as some of the best performing stocks in the stock exchange. Yeah. So we are a company to look out for because I know we're doing great things currently. So we're happy to be here and then to be part of this program. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. But that will be what she is saying is that a woman leader in that company made it stand strong. So could you just clap, 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 because Veritas Insurance has a woman as a leader and CEO, and they're doing great things. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, next to interact with us now, people call her my mama, everybody mommy, mommy, but she's a leader in her own right. Can we please listen to this awesome woman that is making waves in the Nigeria police force? Do you know what energy, Dr. Asha? You're in some of my notes in school. We talk about you. when we talk about leaders in law enforcement. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Are we happy? Are we happy? Thank you very much. I'm sure you know my name. Well, thank you. Well, I am AIG Aishatu Abubakar Baju, MNI. For those that do not know what MNI means, it means Member of the National Institute. OON, Officer of the Order of the Nigerian. Wow, thank you. I will be talking about leadership here. Leah has spoken, my sister also, Patience, has spoken, and so many other people here about leadership. You see, I keep telling, each time I have an opportunity, okay, by the way, I'm the first gender advisor to the Inspector General of Police, Nigeria Police. Now that there are about 19 African police here, right? Each time I have an opportunity to speak to my women, I always tell them, as a woman, you must create a niche for yourself. You must create a niche for yourself. You can't just flow with the crowd and you're not noticed. A lot of people will have problem with that. But honestly, I tell you, just move on. I have, when I was at the National Institute, my supervisor for my individual research project was Professor Paramalam, professor of gender. The first time we saw her, and then we were like, she went, three of us, she supervised three of us, and it's like, can you introduce yourself? And we try as much as possible to be modest, try to do this. I said, look, excuse me, don't you ever be apologetic for who you are. Don't be apologetic. Just say it. I am so. Just explain who you are. Be proud of who you are. Now, I think it was Dr. Leah that, a patient, one of them spoke about developing yourself. Now, Patience told us how she joined the force as a constable. Today, she retired as an assistant commissioner of police with a PhD. She's still very active. What has brought that? Personal development. You can't sit, even Coach Gigi told us yesterday, was it the day before yesterday? How many times have you invested in yourself, put your own money without the police sponsoring you for a course? There are some of us here that you have to wait until it is the police or any institution that is paying for that course before you can go. You'll be left behind. Intentionally invest in yourself and develop yourself and make yourself stand out. And one of the things I believe a leader should have is that ability, that when you are given the responsibility, it doesn't matter what it is. I was invited to speak to young youth on mentorship program. And I told them, you can start from wherever it is and grow. And it depends on what you do to distinguish yourself where you find yourself. You can start, I was telling them the other time in the office, I said, if the Inspector General of Police said, hey, Aisha, your responsibility is to supervise the cleaning of these 4 headquarters, to make sure it's clean. I said, by the time he comes in the morning, the headquarters will be sparkling. So when they give you that responsibility of cleaning, make it spark. When it comes in tomorrow, the person or he or she that gave you that responsibility comes in, walk in and see. Tomorrow, if they want little decoration, say, no, that lady knows how to clean. Maybe she can even decorate. And they give you additional responsibility. Then you now decorate it beautifully. And when they come, they say, no, I think she can even set up. By the time you know it, you are sitting on the table. So, that's where that difference comes. You don't sit and, oh my God, that's why I find myself. And then a lot of us here talk about mentorship. You need to recreate yourself as a leader, because you should be able to turn back and see the impact, the people you have invested in, the leaders you have built that are taking over from you. That was what Patience was talking about. You don't just pass through. If you pass, I told my colleagues, there will be a time, yes, now, oh, Aisha, everybody you call, yes, they know me, right? Give us few years, the young officers are growing. You will come and pass by, they will be asking, who is that? She used to be an AIG, or whatever rank you retire. Do you understand? So try as much as possible to recreate yourself. You are, when we work in male-dominated domain, you have to have a lot of emotional intelligence also, because that is what makes a difference, honestly. So try as much as possible to, I will still leave this with you, distinguish yourself. Don't flow in the crowd. And they will be finding you, so that each time there is position, they will now know, yes, Patience is there. Even when the doors are closed, you are not there, somebody will be able to say, she can do it. Don't make too many excuses. I always tell my girl, oh, I have menstrual pain. Oh, I have a baby. Oh, I have. So, and that is just it. I was in a particular position. I like giving examples, because that is why we are here, to share from experience. When I was talking to the then former IG, and I said, we need more women, send them to the command, this, so. And I said, one day he called me, hey, Aisha, how many deputy commissioners of police do you have? And I told him at that time, 14. He said, okay, I'm going to post them to all the state commands to become the 2IC, that's the DC commands. They will learn command experience, and then they can rise up to become commissioners of police. Barely 2 days later, he called me and he said, Aisha, what do these your women want? A deputy commissioner of police, I just posted her to become a DC command, and she said, oh, she cannot travel because she has children. You can't eat your cake and have it. Yes, we understand. I also keep telling that, yes, as women also, you know, each time I say this, even when we're having meetings, senior officers, they keep laughing. And I say, you also have to give us time to become mothers and reproduce the next generation of the police. And I say, childbearing should be a national service. Because if we all refuse to produce babies,
did you hear that loud and clear?
We will just say, and then we'll produce the next generation of those people that will take over as police officers. So I say, we must be able to say that childbearing should not be an impediment. When we are at that productive level, then we should be giving, because we are now providing national service to produce the next generation of people that will take over from us. So you can't just like, so let me just add something, sorry. When Julie Sanders was saying that she used to wear trousers, you know, when you are in the military or regimental section, everybody thinks that you are a man. And they keep telling us, after all, in the police, there are no women. In the army, there are no women. At some point, it was only Nigerian police that was not wearing earring. And I wrote to review the dress code of women police. And I inserted that we should be able to wear. And one of my bosses at that time declined, because there was no woman on the table. Why should they wear earring? After all, they have been doing it. After all, there is no woman in the police. And I went up to him, they were in a meeting, and they said, he said, Aisha, what is your problem? Since we started this police, women don't wear earring. After all, there are no women in the police. I said, okay, we are there. And I stood like this, and I did that. I was like, do I look like a man? So that should be the attitude. Thank you.
Wow. Please, can you really celebrate a woman that has been there? Thank you so much, AIG. For me, you just gave a keynote address on leadership. I am sure we picked a lot of things, but we'll still come back. We'll come back. We have a lot to talk about concerning women leaders in the police, where, you know, an organization that doesn't see the other gender, you know, just everybody is a man. Are we men? Okay, let me end there. All right. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I can't hear you. Good morning. It's so good to be here. And my name is Kaide Akintele. I'm the Managing Director and Editor-in-Chief of News Central Television. Well, I learned many years ago that in every human being's bloodstream and fiber of being, there is a DNA to become a leader. From the day you were born, you have that DNA to become a leader. And then I also learned that as you grow up, everybody around you tend to want you to not be that leader that you were ordained and purposed to be. So what they direct you to do is to become a manager. Manage the situations in front of you. I have spent time studying and trying to understand the difference between who is a manager, and you all have managers in different places of work. And you know the difference between the person who manages you and the person you look up to is most likely the one you call a leader. So who are you determined to be? A manager or a leader? I will not be giving you answers here. I want you to search yourself, because this session is a conversation that is supposed to stir something in your mind, so that when you leave this place as you think, you will begin to evolve into that person that everyone will see has become a changed or a different person. When you go back to your platoon, to your command, to wherever it is you operate as leaders or as managers and whatever in what is called the police force or security agency. Now, my second question will be, News Central is my new home. That's where I work now. I've been there for about 7 months now. And in that place, I see everybody as my family. My family, because I spend more time with them than anybody else. I go to work at 9. Sometimes I don't close till 9 or 10 or 11, depending on whatever time the MD is able to tear himself away from work and go home. So that means I am dedicating practically 70% of my time to this work, where my decision and my commitment is that I want to grow the next generation of leaders in my sector. It is not about making profit, because profit will come. If you know what you're doing and you do your work well, profit will come. But what exactly would you say you're leaving behind? Like my dear friend Dr. Uche said, in 30, 40 years' time, even in some cases, there are people here who will retire in 10 or 15 years. There are those that will retire in 20 years. So what would you say you're leaving behind? And that takes me to that point where I am saying to every one of you in your soul searching, whatever rank you retire at, those who are behind you, will they be your foot soldier? Will they be your foot women police officers? Will you grow to that point where you retire and you can look back after 10, 15 years and say, those are my girls. Those are my girls. They're now AIG. They're now IG. They're now this. They're now that. And you can call them. So that is extremely important. My third, and I will try and make it my final question. is that women form the core of humans that I can say I am consistently keen to support, to empower, and to give platform to rise. It's a personal decision. So at workplace, I make a commitment to listen to the women. I keep my door open all the time, to the point where people wonder, why do the girls throng to the MD's office? Because I want to listen to them. Women go through so much, and you all know it. I don't even need to tell you. All the things and challenges that they go through, what they need. Number one, from what my mother taught me, is to listen. Listen and listen. And when you do those three things, listen, listen, and listen, what my mother told me is, Kayode, you will hear the things that were not said. When you do that 3 times, you will hear the things that were not said. And if you are going to evolve into being who God has purposed and planned you to be, you must be able to hear the unsaid things and see the things that are not visible to the naked eye. So I leave you with that. I'm sure I'm still going to get a chance, but I want you to ask yourself, am I going to be a leader or a manager? Ask yourself now. And which one do you choose? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very, very powerful words from he, for she's, in fact, both of them, very, very inspiring words for women. Thank you so much, Mr. Kayode. I can't also help thanking you again for putting this live. Can you clap and celebrate him again? That really shows that you are walking the talk. You are not just talking it, that you love women, you love to empower them. You have showed us that that is what you love to do. But we thank our speakers for this first session. The next session will be looking at the 2 earlier papers presented. I believe we were all present. Anyway, you can pick any of the papers. The first one was on ethical leadership in policing by Dr. Lear. And the second one was embracing women's leadership for the future by Dr. Quell. So we're going to pick, you can pick any of the papers you would want. Let's just share, our perspective or a key point of notes taken from any of those presentations, so we can keep resonating this. We should keep resounding this. All right, if we're ready to roll, can we begin from you, sweetheart, Yvonne? Okay, should we come to this end? Okay, I think since we are here, Dr. Jenny? Oh, okay. Yvonne, you ready? Okay. All right, so let's Yvonne take it again.
Leadership and women. The second paper, I wanted to just draw attention to some very key points. And one of them is empathy. When we say that women are women's greatest enemies, there's a truth to it. But I want us to talk about it. Let's not, there's an elephant in the room, let's talk about it. Why do women do what they do to women in the workplace? Why do women give women nightmares? I think one of the biggest issues is when you see a woman who is doing something that you think you should be doing, what comes out is either envy or admiration. Most times we choose envy. You just see a woman doing stuff. She's looking good, looking all together, sounds brilliant. And 2 things suggest to you how to react. Do you admire or do you envy? Now, lower animals envy. Higher beings admire. The moment you have that feeling, there and then, send her a note. You were doing good. Kill it. Kill that sense of entitlement, that sense of envy. Kill it there and then. Tell her, I love the way you look. I like the way you look. Tell her the truth. That's really what you want to say. Even when you envy her and you're saying, and you're making hate speeches, the real thing you're saying is, man, how did you get this done? Show me how, girl. And she'll be happy to show you. There's no room for hate. When you realize this, it should inspire you. One of the women who inspired me in life was a young lady I'm currently with here in Abuja. When we were in university as teenagers, she was so driven. She was in politics. So it's a concept called representation. By just being your authentic self and by committing yourself to improvements consistently, constantly, intentionally, deliberately, you have no clue what impact you're making to people who are watching you. You have no idea. By showing up and refusing to quit every single time, you have no idea how much you are leading. You see, the character is not taught, it's caught. It is caught, and it starts from the home. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. We think the main thing is to train. No, the main thing is in the way, is your example. Example is more potent than precepts. Don't tell a child, be nice. You be nice. Hello? Be nice to the janitor. Be nice to the housemaid. Be nice to the driver. Don't be mean to the driver and tell the children, be nice. It's not going to work. It is by example. That's the only way to lead. It is by example. And Africa, we can do better. African women leaders, we have what it takes. We have an advantage. It's called intuition. How would you have a situation where a man comes to me and tells a woman, oh, I want to do a business. And she says, And it's like, why are you saying, What is the matter? That business will not work. It's a God-given mechanism called intuition. That's what I'm saying. You know, a man. We want to be men, and men don't have intuition. No man here, Uche, you don't have intuition. You don't get time. They don't get time. They don't get intuition. They don't get time. It's just a feeling. Something is going to go wrong. Something is not. You just know it is God-given. Don't downplay it. Use it to lead. So I'm saying empathy because we cannot add to our many challenges as African unkindness. We can be so brutal and so unkind. First to ourselves, then to everybody else. And then when we are hurting people, hurt other people, we can break that cycle. I know you were hurt. Something happened to you to bring you here. Listen, break that cycle and be a kind person. Be a mentor. Be a leader and lead with empathy. Empathy is no weakness. No. It is the foundation of etiquette and is the source of great power. By the way, I'm the lead consultant of a corporate finishing school, and what we do is intentionally training people on etiquette, on helping them change their attitude narrative in their homes. I'm saying that you have such power in your house, you don't even know. Because you can't be a hero in the workplace and no hero at home. Let's start the superheroism at home. Be a hero at home. Raise giants. Don't raise dysfunctional children. Raise giants at home. Raise giants in your community. Let them know you're not wicked at home and good in the office. Don't confuse us. Be one person. It's called integrity. Integral. Stop confusing us. Let's be sure of who you are. So I'm saying that particularly as women, we have the profound opportunity to brand ourselves with, brand ourselves as proper, as well-comported people. It also affects the way you carry yourself. Don't walk like a thief. Carry yourself with composure. Have self-confidence. Walk with your shoulders high, with your head up. Forget about how much you have in your account. Nobody knows. And when you're walking, walk as if you know what you're doing. With a sense of purpose. It is possible. And no matter what you have, you can look good. Dress the part. Be confident. Be self-assured. Stop second-guessing. Do it afraid. Do it incomplete. Do it unsure, but do it. And then by doing so, we will raise more leaders.
Wow. Officers, did you hear something? What did you hear? much, Yvonne. We're so glad to have you today. Thank you so much. All right, I'd like to come to Dr. Julie. I'd like us to, can you bring in the perspective of the area you are working in, the area of conflict, resolution, peace, building, linking that to any of the papers we have today, and anything on ethical leadership and building leadership for the future, especially in terms of women being seen as hard bosses, women being seen as uncompromising. In fact, I think Dr. Quell gave an example. We shouldn't be a kind of leader that when your junior ones see you coming, if there was a bet, they will hide and they will dodge, they will run. All right, can you just shed a little bit more light on what would you expect of women leaders of the now?
Okay, thank you very much. I was just thanking Yvonne for giving us a free consulting class.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a free class.
Yes.
I think we should clap for her.
She did that.
Because I think ordinarily you'd have to pay her a lot for that and go to Lagos as well. So I have a personal motto and hashtag, which I think you should also join. It's Women for Women. Hashtag Women for Women. Another hashtag is Better and Stronger Together.
So the first one,
Women for Women.
Women for Women. The
Another
second one,
Better and Stronger
for those
Together.
that want to take
Better
notes.
and Stronger Together. Women better and stronger together. Because for me, intentionality, one of the things I'm intentional about is breaking the narrative that says women do not support women. And that's why I always promote Women for Women and Better and Stronger Together. So it's important for me that we've said a lot here about breaking the cycle. We have to be intentional about being better leaders as women. I always tell the younger women, grow your leadership. Every opportunity you're giving, grow your leadership. And that's about intentionality, because my own story is about intentionally growing my leadership. And so I worked in the latter part of my years, I worked, in terms of, like I said, developing gender, mainstreaming and gender responsiveness in security operations. And so if you're going into that kind of arena, growing your own leadership to be able to deliver properly on your own job, you also have to be authentic as a leader. Because I can't be saying one thing and I'm doing another thing. So you have to be authentic. And like I said, I had started on this personal leadership journey. I realized I needed to be kinder. Yvonne talked about empathy. We need to be kind. It doesn't mean we're not strict. We're strict, we're disciplined, we don't condone, what is not right and so on, but we should be kind. Because that's one thing, growing in my kind of work environment, and as women leaders in your environments, we tend to come very hard. So we need to be intentional about being kind. And I find that in the space where I work today, it's very important. In our space, of course, we talk about women, peace and security. And basically, Resolution 1325 says that women are not only victims of violent conflict, but they are also contributors to peace, okay? That we also make peace. We're also security providers. So we're not just the receivers of security or peace works, but we're active participants. Now, if you're going to be a leader in that space, like I said, you will need and limits that also protect us. It protects you, and it also helps you in delivering on your job. If you're professional, it's going to be hard for people to tag all kinds of things on you and use it to denigrate you. And also, being professional also helps us to deal with something important. We're discussing it here. There's something that women always fall prey to. It's called the imposter syndrome. Imposter. We always feel we're not enough. We're not enough. We're not enough. Because you've had years of, being put down, whether at home, in the culture, wherever, society in general. You're never enough. You hear about how you have to work double or triple extra to be able to meet up. and all those kinds of things. So we have to deal with imposter syndrome. It may not be obvious to you, but it's working against you. If you haven't heard it before, just Google it up. Google is our friend. So it's a struggle. Believe me that you always have to. But if you know it is there, and again I come back to intentionality, it will help you, to continue to deal with it, and so on. And like I said, mentorship. Mentoring is not very obvious, okay? It doesn't just, sometimes it can start accidentally. But again, we have to be intentional about mentoring, about you looking for mentors and about you also mentoring others. And I cannot overemphasize intergenerationality. For me, it is a key value and a key principle. Anything I do, I make sure that the generations are talking to themselves. It's not just about sitting in the room. I'm very good friends with young people. I find it very easy to get on with them because I deliberately trained myself with that mindset. I can easily chat up young people, okay? And there are things I do I think somebody said about learning and relearning and keep improving yourself. So you have to learn things in that space so that when you're sitting with them, you're not a fossil. Okay? I don't have to be like them, but at least I understand where they're coming from. And then they can feel comfortable with you. So mentoring, we have to be intentional and deliberate about it as well. It has helped me in my work tremendously over the years and even right now in what I'm doing. Because when you go on the field, a lot of the young peace builders are young, so you have a role also in helping them to better understand their work and how they do it better. You come with a different perspective. But you've got to make them comfortable enough to be able to sit with you and plan the work and also deliver on the work. I see you looking at me. Okay, so I'll stop for now.
I was just enjoying and going with the flow. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanda, for that perspective, especially the one again on women as peace builders. And mentorship, leading by example. She said so much. And don't forget to Google the final one she said. She sent us to Google. Remember? You've gotten it already? Okay, beautiful. Clap for yourself. So everybody was following. All right, Dr. Uche. Wow. We're here again. I want to begin like this. Could you remember Dr. Leah, I think? Yeah, she's the one, ethical leadership, that she gave some kind of data, though she didn't state whether it's based on empiricism or qualitative research. But I remember her stating in her presentation that ethically, women seem to be of good behavior. So women are more prone to ethical behavior. She didn't add than men, but I'm adding than, because if women are more, than who then? Than men. Could you bring your perspective on this? That ethically, women seem to, align more, and so they would be able to align more to ethical leadership if they put their minds to it. Dr. Lee is looking at me. Is that it? Beautiful. Okay, sir. Okay,
I want to start by saying this. First of all, women are better managers. That's the truth. Women are better managers, better multitaskers. Yeah. A woman can actually do up to 4 things at the same time. I don't know how they do it, but it's amazing. She's receiving the call of her. There have been times I was with AIG Aisha, and right there, we're talking about the program. She's talking about the Nigerian police force. She's talking to her daughter. She's talking about the food. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? She's like, pa. It's amazing. Come put your hands together for women. You guys are something else. That's the truth. Yeah, men don't have that. Now, there's something that I want to bring to the knowledge of everybody all over Africa. Now, this is it. The African continent, we need a lot of transformation. Everything we do is targeted towards the Africa we want. And there are 2 sets of people that can give us the Africa we want. Number one, the youths. That's why any leadership that does not include our youths, may God have mercy on you. Whoever you are, the youths. A lot of people say young people, they don't know what they are doing, they are whatever. No, it's a lie. This young generation, they are innovative, they are smart, they are something else, they are creative in various ways. It's just to give them the landing platform. I remember I was in a meeting with a major former president of Nigeria. I was in his house and we were talking and all. And I was talking to him about the youths and all. And somebody made a statement, the youths are not serious, youths are not. And I asked him, I said, Your Excellency, sir, how many people are holding Nigeria hostage now? Are they up to 1,000? He looked at me. At the end of the day, he said, no, they are not up to. I said, sir, me now, I can single-handedly locate like 200 people. From that 200, we can get up to 5,000 youths that are working very hard, that have not put their hands in anything bad at all. He was like, you are right. I said, sir, if that number is available, that means we have great youths and all. That's the truth. The second set of people are the women. The women. The women. Now, why am I talking about the women? Every man is under the influence of a woman. The president of this country is under the influence of a woman. He has a wife. Now listen, let me just play it for you. You are a president, you have your wife. Either your wife is talking to you, your girlfriend is talking to you under the influence, whether you are a senator, you are whoever you are, or your daughter, or your grandmother, or your, let me not add the other one, it doesn't sound too good or whatever, or your sister, God bless you. Every man is under the influence of a woman. If Africa is going to change, women, you are the one to champion the cause. That's the truth. If you are going to get to your cause, do you know why most men steal? They steal to have several girlfriends. I hear that poor what they call sex allowance. They steal to have girlfriends. They steal to give houses to different women around the world or whatever. It's women. If people can stand up and say, let's build Africa, Africa will be a better place. That's the truth. All the vices you see today and all, if women can come together and say, you know what, enough is enough. Let's make Nigeria, let's make Ghana, let's make Tanzania a first world country. It is possible. Can I see someone lift up and say it is possible? Say it now, say it is possible. And can I hear you say, yes, we can. Yes, we can. That is it. So why am I saying this right now? Women, you have a pivotal role to play. You have a pivotal role to play. If you check very well and all, there are two sets of people that determine every election in every country. You see the professors and the security agencies. In any country, if the women now make up their mind and talk to the men, you know what? We are not going to allow rigging. We are not going to allow vote buying. We are not going to allow anybody to bring money to induce us and pass the message. What happens is that it goes round and it will affect the quality of leadership. It's high time we have the Africa we want, and you are the one that can bring about it. If you love Africa, stand up on your feet and celebrate Africa right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow. I am at a loss for words. He has said it all. Africa is in the hands of women. All right, Mr. Kayode, I'm coming to you. Yes, it's I. Okay, thank you for agreeing to. All right, I'd like you to look at the perspective of the female leadership dynamics. You know, sometimes it's said women leadership is something that is shaped by the different contexts, especially the environment, the things that women go through, like culture, like social norms, family, most of those aspects of a woman's life. Like AIG was saying earlier, a woman, being pregnant shouldn't be seen as something to be frowned at, but even a national service. But sometimes a woman being pregnant, giving birth to a child, which is her biological natural function, may be frowned at within the context of leadership. Okay. Would you say something about this, sir? How can women leaders navigate through this to become great and effective leaders?
That's a very interesting scenario you painted. But just before you decided you'd come to me, I was thinking, my dear sister here will talk, but it's okay, I'll go on. My thoughts initially is that we have to debunk some things that's been planted in our heads to believe. I listened to a friend of mine who is a former minister in Nigeria, and he was saying that this former president that he served under is a lion, and lions don't nurture goats or grow goats. They don't encourage goats. They grow another set of lions. And I said, well, let's turn it around. Maybe we should have a female president in Nigeria. He said, oh, why? He said, why? I said, because when you look at a group of a family of lions, you will find that it is the lionesses that nurture the cubs. Just go and check anywhere, Google it. It's the lionesses that nurture the cub. The nature of a woman is to nurture. And because of that, that natural tendency makes it sometimes seemingly overbearing, but it is designed to help, to grow, to encourage, to empower, to nurture, to do everything to make sure that that next generation evolve, emerge, and come out as the best. So, let me ask you, by show of hand, who's a lioness here? You're a lioness. So who are you nurturing to become the next generation of lions and lionesses that Uche is referring to, that will take over this continent and make us emerge as the best around the world? That would be a question for every single one of you. And with regards to the issue of capacity of women to manage all of the things that they have to manage, the home, the business, the family, the work, the career, the people, the situation and nature that affects them, it's only women that know what it is like to go through a menstrual period that deals with cramps and all that. One of my staff had a situation where they could not do what they were expected to do, and I said, why? And a couple of colleagues were like, oh yeah, she does this all the time, and these are two women complaining that she does. And I'm like, why? I said, Andy, let me come and see you in the office. And I came in and said, you know what, I couldn't because I had cramps and it was raining and there were challenges and this and that. And I said, come here, come and get a hug. But what we need, yes, there is a need for people to deliver results. The women have to be the one that protect the women the most. They have to be what? Women have to be what? Protect the women the most. If you have a female colleague who's going through things, you have to be the first to hear. Before even the men here, you have to be the first. You have to be willing to do the three things I said earlier. Listen and what? And that's what you have to do. And you have to hear what is not said. You have to hear what is not said and see that which is not visible to the naked eye so that you can help. And when we do that, I know for a fact that this nation will grow. This continent will grow. We're already having mothers who are single mothers doing incredible things. And those who criticize them, I tell those people, whether they're male or female, I say they're stupid. I'm sorry I'm using that language. You criticize a single mother and you don't know her story, you're absolutely stupid. Period. There's no other explanation. So what we need to do is support every woman to be able to evolve and to be able to be the lioness that God has created them to be, the nurturer, the empowerer, the one that makes things happen.
Wow. We heard that loud and clear. Woman, you are a lioness. Lioness. Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Kayode. All right, I'd like to come to a powerful woman now. You know, she's so powerful yet so soft. Those are the diversities and varieties that women leaders bring to the table. AIG, I'd like to ask you to share with us some of your experiences as a leader in a regimental organization like the NPF. Especially, you know, some time ago, I actually used to see the NPF really as an organization that suppresses women and may not allow them to come to their full potentials. If women, you know, are employed and are told to be serving tea, they are tea girls. Meanwhile, these are intelligent officers that could contribute a lot to the issues of security. So, Ms. AIG, can you share with us your experience as a leader in an organization like the NPF, especially for the younger generation? Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. You see, we've been a lot of, so we're meant to look at those papers that were presented before we came up here. The Nigerian police or any regimented organization, you know, when some people say, oh, the police has done this, the police is bad, they have done this, and I ask them, if it is Nigerian police, where did we get the policemen from? They are from the Nigerian society. We're not going to recruit from China or from Ghana. Ghana will recruit Ghanaians to become Ghanaian police. Nigeria will recruit Nigerians as Nigerian police, right? So the Nigerian police is a reflection of the Nigerian society. We've spoken about the paper that Leah presented on the story. Yes, ethical leadership. And she talks, and we looked at it when she asked us to kind of interpret. And we're talking about somebody, Dr. I think it was Dr. Sanda, that actually looked at it and said there was a pattern. So this pattern is, the Nigerian police has also infusion, or any police, infusion of culture into the services. So this pattern now, you don't know where these men, they are coming from, different backgrounds. So we have to be intentional. And I said, we also have to have a lot of emotional intelligence. Because we are there, we need to change. Just like the issue of when I said, he said, no, you cannot wear earrings. We have been, Nigerian women police have never been wearing earrings. Right from the colonial era, it has been like this. In fact, in the Nigerian police, it's a regimental organization. There's no woman. And I stood up and I was like, even asking him whether I look like a man. You know, and oh no, it's that. And today, thank God, we are wearing our this stuff. Wearing. So these are the kind, we have to be very tactical. We have to use our motherly instinct. You see, there was this drawing that I used to see. You see the picture of a woman that has so many hands. I don't know who has seen it. So many hands. The one is carrying a baby. The one is cooking. One is. We are multitasking. When we find ourselves, or where we found ourselves now in the regimented organization, we also have a collection of people from different backgrounds. So as women in the police or any of the law enforcement agencies, we also have to be intentional to see how we can change the narrative, how we will be able to work with them and let them understand. It is not about fights. Right? It is not about that. I wrote my IRP on gender responsive policing and internal security management. An appraisal of the Nigerian police. And when I was doing my interviews, I was interviewing one of the senior officers. They're talking about gender responsive. oh, Aisha, you have come again. What is it about this gender equality? Because when you start talking about gender equality, everybody feels you want to, when you put 5 men, you must put 5 women. So I keep giving them the story, I mean, what you have in that gender book. I don't know if you have seen, about 2 people, a small boy and a very tall man, trying to pluck mangoes or oranges, whatever it was, or whatever it is. And I said, sir, just look at, and the officer, then my boss at that time, my senior, he's a very tall officer. If I stand, I would have to do like this. And I said, sir, look at this bulb. I give and I said, look at this bulb, sir. If they say we should remove this bulb, sir, all you need maybe is just to raise your leg. And you can just comfortably remove this bulb. But sir, I need a table to climb and remove this bulb. So all we are asking for is that little table, so that we will be able to block these mangoes.
Wow.
So you break it in that way that they understand that all you are asking is not, we are not saying it's gender equality that everything you do must do. No. But I mean, what is it? A little support that you need as a woman to also be like that, to also be able to pluck that mango that everybody is plucking, right? So we need to have a lot of emotional intelligence, know how to deal, and then the fact that we understand that there's a pattern. We don't know the background of that person. The other one maybe believes the only thing that a woman can do, you need to be again. Why are you talking when men are talking? Even in the force, I'm sure it's not only here. Everywhere is like that, and it's not just in the force. Everywhere it's happening. So we have to be intentional about how we're able to change the perspective, their own thinking. But in and out also carrying ourselves with dignity, with respect, and we have to be assertive. If you know it's my own, I can quietly get what is meant for me, right? Without really, because we don't also need the fights. So we need to have that self-confidence. And as I said earlier on personal development, I tell you it's very important. When I was doing my PhD, a lot of my colleagues officers were like, what are you going to do with PhD in the police? What are you going to do? Are you going to be a lecturer? Do you understand? Some of them don't feel any reason why I should go and do a PhD. But what I always tell people, I say, I would rather have a qualification that I don't need than not to start looking for a qualification that I will need, because I don't want to give you an excuse to say, because you don't have this, you cannot sit on this table. And honestly, a policewoman, military, those uniforms are beautiful. Beautiful. Let me tell you something, as a woman, you know, when you dress up, usually, yes, as a woman, I always want to be, you dress up as an officer, confidently working. And there's also, I'm sorry, with due respect to my civilian sisters, but I can tell you, the civilian, you also dress beautifully, put the most expensive dress you want, and I wear my AIG and I put my cap and I walk. And we pass here. If there are 10 men on this, if I go this way, the lady goes this way, 9 of the men will want to look at your style. That is how it is, I'm telling you. Because they want to know who is that woman in that uniform, in that position. So it's something to be proud of. So I always tell my colleagues, when you remove uniform, you don't want, I say, I'm proud being in my uniform all the time. Because wherever you go, they start looking at you. Wow, for you to be a police officer. Wow, yeah, police officer. You dress the way I'm going, I go and put everything that you want to work. Without letting somebody notice. You are in uniform, they will stop you. Excuse me. Oh, I really like you. And I tell you, I met my brother at the function. That's how it starts. And you get a lot, there's so much goodwill in being a police officer, a female police officer. So much goodwill. It depends on how you take advantage of that. We were there at an event together, just like this, we met. And he came and I said hello. He said, oh, excuse me, can we? Oh, I think we can do great things together. Can I have your card? That is a gentleman, humble. And we explained, and this conference was coming on. And I said, my brother, you know, you said we are going to do a lot of things. Something has come for us to do. And today, we are live on News Central. So, being a police officer is a big deal. Don't ever feel inferior because the police officer. I told them, no matter how much you tell me police are bad or police is bad, oh, the police don't, I say I'm still proud. And I always tell people, when you come to interview media, oh, you are police, how come you became a police? I say, actually, truly, and that's a true story, I used to be so afraid of police when I was growing up. But, you know, God has a way of, everybody has his destiny. I came for the national service. And I was posted to the Nigerian police to go and do my 1-year mandatory service. And I keep telling them, that was how I fell in love with the job. And I keep telling people, the Indians, they believe in reincarnation, that there are 7 lives, you live 7 lives. And I say, if I have to come back for my 7 lives, I will be a policewoman.
Wow. Please, a bigger round of applause for our very own AIG. Wow, so inspiring. I hope our younger ones learned a lot. Those of you, the younger, I hope it's not your phones you are holding. She said a lot of things. A police officer, a lady needs a lot of emotional intelligence. That's so key. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, AIG, Dr. Aisha. All right, I'd like to come to you now, Dr. Agdaobi. The AIG told us that your company gave us an insurance cover for this conference. Can we please celebrate that? You know, and I was just thinking, wow, that could have truly happened because we have a woman as a leader and a CEO of that company. Now, looking at one of the characteristics of great leaders are people who are more people-centered. They are people-centric, human-centric. They love people more than things, or even more than processes, just like one of the speakers told us. Can you just share a bit of your perspective on a leader, being a leader, loving people, wanting to do a lot more for people, and also loving, carrying people along in whatever you're doing?
Okay, thank you very much. First, I'll start by saying that leaders are people who inspire others. Yes, and then also when you have female leadership in place also, they come with diverse perspectives, you know. So for us, when you look at it, really in an organization or even in the force or anywhere, what is your greatest asset? It is the people. In organizations, the figures are coming, the numbers are coming, you're doing well. But if you look beyond the figures, who is your greatest asset, or what is your greatest asset? It is the individuals, it is the people. And it is the people that make the organization, that make the numbers, that make the company thrive. So, people should not be put on the side. People should actually be prioritized by leaders in organizations. Yeah. And that is why for us, we pride ourselves as people who are, first, of course, we are customer-centric. Yes, because our customers mean a lot to us. But particularly,
your customers are people.
Yes, particularly our people, our workforce is very important to us also. Because without the workforce, the company is just there, it's just a shell. So it is the people who make the organization. So for us, yeah. So that is why we look at it, and then, in whatever we do, even in a culture of my organization, for an example, culture of my organization, we pride ourselves to be people who take care of the workforce. And then for female leadership also, even in my organization, we're deliberate, we're intentional about also growing the women in the, so for even in my ESCO, we have quite a number of women I mean, it might be the same number with the men and the women in my ESCO. So you see, we encourage female leadership also. So just like any other organization, and that is what I would encourage people to do. So, but AIG was saying something, and she said something about, I can see that we have a bit of similarity. When she said that she joined the force as a youth club member. I also started in this industry, in my industry, as a youth clubber, mistakenly. Of course, you know, then you want to go and do your youth service in an oil and gas company or a bank, but somehow, that's why I say mistakenly, I went into the insurance industry to do the youth service. And today, we're here today. So for the women, I mean, nothing can stop you. You see, the only difference between a man and a woman is here, the content. It is the content. It's not about the physical. So wherever a man can get, I mean, if you're left and given the same opportunities in an organization, a woman can aspire to become the MD, just like the man can aspire to become the MD. So if you have a workforce that is well trained and you have given everybody the same level playing ground, you will find a lot of female leaders in that organization also, as well as the men. So, and luckily, like my industry is male dominated. Out of the 50-something insurance companies, we don't even have up to 15 female CEOs. I'm not even sure we have up to 10 female CEOs out of 50-something. So you can see it's male dominated. But regardless, you know, you work. Just concentrate on your passion. Just be hardworking. You're resilient. You know, when the time comes, like I said before, it is the content that will matter. It's not about whether you're a female. It's not the gender that will matter. Thank you.
Wow. Coming from the CEO, she's on top of, you know, her game. Like I'm hearing the sounds from here. She's on the very top of her game. Beginning as a youth copper. Wow, this is so key to learn that truly a woman can break every barrier, especially even where you have male-dominated domains. And that even happens a lot in Africa. Most of our organizations, most of the sectors are dominated by men. And so women tend to get there and become intimidated. But I'm sure you're learning something better today. So now this is your turn, our wonderful officers. Can I call you our audience? Okay, thank you so much. So this is your turn. It's your turn to please respond, either through questions or contributions. Leadership, we are all, like one of the speakers said, everyone has that seed of leadership. And you can lead at any point, from the top, from the bottom, from the middle. Leadership applies. So please kindly put up your hands now for questions, including contributions. And everybody will make it short. We'll make it very short because of our time. Thank you. Okay, can we have an usher? Please take one of these microphones or collect one from there. We have an extra one here if you don't have one. Okay, take this. Okay, let's begin from the second row.
Good morning. All protocols duly observed.
Good morning.
My name is Dolako Badmos. I'm an Assistant Commissioner of Police. I've listened carefully to the speakers, and I, for one, have really gained a lot. I feel good to be here, and I feel everything we say here today can be really put into action. I have an observation, and I believe if the women will get to their place, then they need mostly the support of other women. In Africa, there is this perspective, or there is this stereotype, that when a woman climbs up, get promoted, then a string must be attached. And the string is that you slept your way to get to where you are. And the most painful thing is that who are the people that share this false information, that spread it? Who? So your guess is good as mine. So if we want to rise, because we've been charged up, we've also seen examples. I, for one, within the force, if I've ever faced any challenge, it's not from a woman. The women in front of me have been very supportive. I saw Madam Okoroko here, we were caught on a picture. The way we held hands, she nurtured me. I could remember, but you understand the men might not want to give us a space. Appreciation to the current Inspector General of Police for pushing us through. And I want to also appreciate our madam seated here. She's always charging us on. But I want to say that Africa, for us women, to take our place of pride, we need each other. And I want to encourage us that when a woman gets promoted or a woman is in place of authority, we should not spread anything negative about that woman. If we can come together, because these are strategies to bring women down. And I used to tell the younger ones I mentor, a woman has to, your brain and you have your body. You can't deploy the two at the same time. If you deploy your body, it will be a waste of resource and energy. Because for how long will that carry you? But if you deploy your brain, you know, when you develop it, when you deploy it once, you charge it in readiness for the next stage. So if you keep doing it, you are improving yourself. So at this point, I want to say that women, we have to take our place of pride. And at the same time, it looks like women are very tough. We go through a lot. So if you see any woman on top of you that is being tough to you, don't condemn. Look for a good time and speak with that person. Because together we will get there.
Thank you so much, my sister Dolapo, for those powerful words. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Councillor Asatu Bakene, former DIG of Liberia, but I represent the Liberia Female Law Enforcement Association. I want to thank our panelists and also our presenters this morning. They have inspired us, and I'm sure we all are motivated. I'm coming from the background because I'm a career law enforcement personnel. I joined the Liberia National Police when I just left high school. In as much as we are advocating for women to get at the top in the security sector, I just want to send this out as an appeal because there's always an exception. When you join the police or the service, please carry yourself with dignity because it costs a whole lot. If you enter the police or the service and just answer to every call, when you get to where you're supposed to get, you will not be respected. And maybe you might not even have the opportunity to get there because you have abused your opportunity. Let's stop asking the men to carry us for lunch. Let's begin to carry the men for lunch. And I say this from my experience, because when you start to ask for lunch, you are going to pay for those lunch that you are taking. Exactly. And because they see the law enforcement as a male-dominated area, they do not want the women to excel. I don't care how friendly you are with your counterpart in the service, they want to bring you down. Some of them, they are here for sheep, but some of them don't want us to excel. And I'm speaking from a 29 years of experience in the security sector. There is nothing a man can give me that I can give myself.
Exactly.
And I'm referencing one of our panelists who just spoke about self-confidence. You must have self-confidence. All of us must look at our SWOT analysis. You may have a strength in somebody that could be someone else's weakness. Let's continue to hold each other hands.
Technical, okay.
So that all will see that before you get to the space, you are not only the people who are taking the
Wow, thank you so much.
I am proud to say that in Nigeria today, when you are talking about women insecurity, if my name is not the first, my name will be on the list.
Wow, thank you. Lessons there from a veteran. All right, no, until I ask you to, can you hold on? All right, officers, please would like to. Okay. So sorry. Please give her the microphone. Just who was the person that stood up? Oh. After her, I will just make a short announcement.
Thank you, Program Director. I am Brigadier Ramansi from the South African Police Service. I work under the division HRD, which is training. This morning, when the Program Director said the stage is going to be on fire, I really didn't expect this.
Wow.
This stage is really on fire.
Wow.
And I must say, all the presenters, what you have spoken about, it is our lived experiences. All the women here can identify with one aspect, if not many. I want to talk to three things that were spoken about: empathy, being apologetically yourself, as well as personal growth. I told myself when I came to this conference that I wasn't going to say anything because I'm apologetically not wanting to be myself. But through you guys this morning, I thought I'm going to stand up and speak.
Wow, can you celebrate that?
Allow me to share my story with you, which I feel...
Can it be short?
Yes.
Okay, please.
It would be a great injustice if I didn't share this story with you guys.
Okay.
In 2010, I was part of the UNAMID, a hybrid mission in Sudan. I was kidnapped when I was in Sudan by the rebels. I was kept in custody for 16 days. And when I was released, an empathy of a woman that I didn't know, a social worker from the United Nations was waiting for me. 16 days I didn't take a bath. I was drinking dirty water. I was eating animals that I didn't know. The first thing, when this woman laid her eyes on me, she said, you know what? The women in the food told me that this woman is a beautiful woman. Look at how beautiful you are. I was amazed because I was there for 16 days. I didn't take a bath. But this woman was willing to give me that hope. She kept me alive. Moving along, I'm now working under a divisional commissioner who holds 2 PhDs. She consistently motivates us to keep on learning, to keep on studying, and through her, I can honestly tell you, I hold a Bachelor of Laws. I've passed my academic board exams. I hold an honors in education and training. I also hold a Bachelor of Technology in Human Resource Development. Currently, I'm pursuing my Master's in Human Rights Law. I'm intending to open my law firm as soon as I leave the service. And also through this interaction here, I've found a mentor. This woman sitting right here. She will be assisting me with this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. What an inspiring story. What an inspiring story. Thank you so much. I know that each and every one of us truly we have stories to tell. But, you know, we are knitted together, so I'm sure you can share your stories later with your sisters. Because right now we will take only questions. Right now we're going to take only questions. And please kindly make it short so that we can take as many as we can. Yeah, Jima, if we still have the time to take how many questions? Okay. So 2 fast fingers, 2 here and 2 here. All right, the 2 hands are already there. 2 hands here. Okay, the first one. All right, that's fine.
Thank you very much. My name is Amaka Chukuma, Superintendent of Police. And my question is directed to our mommy, AIG Aisha too. You mentioned while talking that it's good we create a niche for ourselves as women officers. So, ma, based on the way the Nigerian police is structured, especially when you didn't come as a specialized police officer, like in an area of specialization, like medical and what have you. Those of us in the general duties sphere, how do we create that niche? Saying that, okay, you can be building yourself in a particular department and later you are posted to another department. How do we navigate through that in the job, ma'am? Thank you.
Thank you so much, DSP Amaka, for the question. I'm sorry. SP. Oh, that's higher than DSP. Wow, congratulations. Okay, can we take the second question before the AIG? No, that's the person appointed is over there. Look at her hand. Sorry, dear Osha. Okay, we're ready for you now. What is okay. Go ahead.
Bonjour. Désolé, c'est pas une question que j'ai, mais ça me tenait à cœur. Je voulais vraiment qu'on me donne la parole pour que je puisse partager ce. Je représente la police nationale du Niger. Je suis commissaire principal de police. Je suis la chef de la division de protection des mœurs et des femmes de la police nationale. J'aimerais juste rappeler à toutes ces dames réunies dans cette salle que la femme, elle est intelligente. La femme, j'écoute beaucoup de femmes et je suis sûr et certain, et je sais, je le comprends que l'Afrique renferme beaucoup de femmes talentueuses, compétentes. Le problème qui se pose, c'est que ces femmes n'ont pas la possibilité de montrer leur talent. Parce que tout simplement, elles ne sont pas visibles. Certaines ne sont pas responsabilisées dans leur institution. On ne leur fait pas confiance. On ne leur donne pas l'opportunité de montrer ce qu'elles peuvent faire. Donc, la femme, lorsqu'elle est responsabilisée, elle se met en valeur. Elle se met en valeur et elle peut faire mieux. Elle peut faire mieux. Donc l'idée c'est quoi? C'est qu'il faudrait qu'il y ait d'abord une prise de conscience. Qu'on sache qu'on peut, qu'on est capable. Et je vous assure, si on se forme entre nous, ça veut dire qu'il faut renforcer nos capacités. Il faut donner la possibilité à la femme de montrer ce qu'elle peut faire. Et lorsque nous allons aller dans une synergie d'action entre nous femmes, on ne va plus parler d'égalité entre femmes, hommes au niveau des institutions, mais on va plutôt dire qu'il faut plus de femmes que d'hommes dans les institutions. Parce que tout simplement, cette femme, elle peut faire mieux. Il faudrait qu'on passe ce niveau d'égalité. Quand vous essayez de regarder un peu partout, il y a beaucoup de femmes modèles, il y a beaucoup de femmes compétentes. Il y en a qui malheureusement, elles sont capables, elles peuvent, mais elles sont pas on ne les a pas amenées à ce niveau de responsabilisation où elles peuvent montrer ce qu'elles peuvent faire. Donc, j'appelle juste à la synergie d'action, à la franche collaboration entre nous femmes et à ces modèles qui sont là d'accepter de former, de renforcer la capacité des autres et de créer les conditions pour que la femme puisse être visible, émerger et montrer ce qu'elle peut faire pour l'Afrique.
Thank you. Thank you. Merci beaucoup for that contribution. It's like most of us understood her. She made a very beautiful. After that, I saw an applause. Okay. All right, so we're still up to one question from here. Osha. Okay. Okay, great. Please go ahead. Is it a question? Okay, make it very short.
Very well. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Clarissa Ijoma from Ghana. I'm a senior revenue officer with Customs. My question goes to Madam. I want to find out if you do your courses online, so that some of us who are residing outside Nigeria will be able to do it. And then also, I want to find out how often you do maybe an online discussion that we can also log on to and listen to how you do it. Because I seriously want to go into your kind of business. Yes. From where I come from, when you are outspoken and you are able to mount the stage and speak, they see you to be a true person. I want to be a
Wow.
And my other thing is that as women, I want us to identify what we can do for ourselves when we go on retirement. And you don't wait until a year to retirement before you do it. Right just the time, you can identify it, run courses, and then maybe put them in place, start doing it. By the time you go on retirement, it has already taken shape. Then you know what you are really going to do. You don't sit at home and then waste it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, the final question for this afternoon is a hand over there, just by the booth. We apologize. Our hand has been raised since.
Thank you very much, Madam. I'm Chief Inspector Flores Yakubu from Ghana. Mine has to do with when we seek recommendation or validation from our superiors. I believe we have all worked in certain ways that we believe or feel we deserve some kind of recognition, but those recognitions never come. It tends to put some kind of weight or stress on the person who feels deserve it better. And that stress might even affect the person's performance at the workplace as well as the person's caregiving at home. I would like to ask, when one finds herself in such position where you believe you have given your all to your state, you have given your all to your unit, when they fall in, you are the first person to report. When they assign you to any national assignment, you are the first person to take charge of to report. And when it is time for people to be recognized, to be promoted, to be given incentives, you are cut off.
Wow.
When we find ourselves there, what should we do? Thank you.
Okay. May I just add to this, my dear? Is this related to a woman as a leader or anyone at all?
Because
it's only women that refuse to give recommendations.
Exactly.
Okay.
So as you are trying to get to the top, when you get to a certain level, you need the next promotion or the next run to perform better in the field they position you. When you find yourself down there, you may not be able to perform better even with your master's or with your doctorate degree or whatever it is.
Okay,
so in your duty, which you feel you deserve that kind of recognition, when it doesn't come at all, it breaks you. What do we do?
Okay, your point is clear. May we please go to the AIG to answer I think the two questions. The first one was also was directed at her. Then the second one is also about policing. That's why I wanted to say something about it. Then maybe one or two persons before Yvonne.
Thank you very much. Amaka, is that?
Yes, Amaka.
How do you create a niche for yourself in a specialized department? where am I coming from? Am I not sitting here? It's something that you see. Let me tell you. Somebody talked about passion. You see, there is difference from loving your job and having passion for it. You can love your job and not have passion, and you sit there loving it. Wherever you find yourself, it doesn't really matter. There is even the Police Act regulation does not limit what you do. But I tell you, wherever that space that you find yourself in that specialized area, you can make so much impact. You can create a issue. Because see, let me tell you, if you are in medical, for instance, if you are in vet, if you are in communication, the police needs medical personnel. That is why they recruited, right? They need engineers. That's why they recruited. They need media personnel. They need fingerprint experts because they need them. So when you come, create a niche for yourself around that space, and you can still venture into any other space that you'll be able to make creativity. Now I used to tell people, when they're talking about posting where you will be, and I always tell people, and that's still the way it is. If you put me under a tree, outside here, and you say, Aisha, you are OC under the tree, I am telling you, if you come back in a few months, you will see that under the tree flourish. Because I'll create something around it.
Awesome.
I will create something out of it. And people will start to think that there's something inside. You see, in life, it depends what your motivation is. If you are just motivated, you see, there are people that are just motivated by money. If that place does not have money, you cannot create anything. But you know that you can create a dull place to be functional, and they will start pumping money into it. I had an office, let me tell you a short. I like giving an example because this is experience sharing. And you know, as we are growing in this job, each and every one of us will tell you there are times that you have ups and downs. Ups, there are times you're at your low and you feel at some point you are not being treated well. Right? At that wrong person, you feel you are not. Do you understand? At some particular time, I was a commissioner of police. I was posted to an office that was even occupied by an assistant superintendent of police. I am telling you, this is life. I was taken to Jos, in particular, to go and an office that does not exist. And I went there. And I can tell you, ask those that know in Jos, within a month, 2 months, they were beginning to ask me where I was the commissioner of police Plateau State. I said, months of my being there, then I'm not supposed to be sitting on that seat. Do you understand? The office of the first gender advisor, before we used to hear office of first gender advisor. At least now we are feeling impact. Do you understand? So that is the kind of, I know somebody that you can stop because of a particular place. Don't allow anybody to limit you. Don't allow it. When I was going to the National Institute in Jos, there's a position what they call Monitor General. The National Institute, for those that don't know, is the apex policy, what do they call it? It's a strategic institute for the nation where they prepare leaders. So it's like they call it like a national court. There are very few of us when you see this yellow badge. So for you, it's very prestigious to be there. And when you go there every day, there's a monitor general for that particular set. Do you understand? And when I was going, I heard about the monitor general. I always like knowing where I'm going. So I made up my mind that I am. Because the institute have been today, I think this year is 46 years of the institute. When we went, we were set 44. So we're the 44th set. All the big generals, General Abuja, all the big top notch of this country are members of Nigerian Institute, right? So, and there's a monitor general. For 44 years, there was no woman that's ever been a monitor general at the National Institute. I made up my mind from police when I was nominated. I said, I'm going to contest to become the monitor general. I made up my mind. And then one of my senior officers that was there before me sat me down and he said, Aisha, don't do it. Because women have never been monitor generals. We only give them deputy monitor general. I say, no, sir. There was nothing he didn't try to preach to me to convince me not why I should not go and contest and become the AG. And I tell you, I went to the institute with that mindset. So it depends on your mindset. Coach Didi, I saw Coach Didi. I don't know if she talked to you about the growth mindset. That's the kind of person I am. I went to the National Institute with that mindset that I was going to be a monitor there. And as we are bringing down our bags, I prepare myself. Say, you see, you're a participant. You're coming from defense. You're coming from it involves officers in the security agencies, private sector, ministries. So everybody, cream de la cream of the Nigerian society. That's the caliber of people that go there. And I see you say, oh, you are from the media. You are representing the media. So, how are you? I am IIG Aisha. And you know what? I'm going to contest for the monitor. I need your support. From day one, and history has made I'm the first and still the only female monitor general in Nigeria. So you can be anything, I tell you. Don't allow anybody to limit you. And be creative. Each time you say, I was just telling someone, I say, now because I've been focusing on this IAWP conference, they say, Aisha, I always want to keep myself peace. This is the next thing. And I was telling them what my DC are doing. And I said, we will just rest and we'll start planning because the Nigerian police women will be 70 years next year. We'll start preparing to celebrate. Thank you.
Wow. No, there's another, the question on lack of recommendation.
Okay, recommendation. Well, you see, this one, because it all depends. Usually, it happens everywhere. It doesn't have to be police. It doesn't have to be the military. Even in ministries, it happens. So it is an institutional thing. And it all, and I said the way how to deal with it. I cannot tell you every institution that is on there, and it also has to do with the people. The person that is head of that agency also, it has something to do with that person. If he believes he doesn't want to reward competence, then there's problem, and you can see it in the output of that institution. Thank God we have the current Inspector General of Police that has provided the enabling environment for women to thrive. And it's rewarding. So I tell you, it depends on the leadership at that particular time. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, AIG. We'll just give a minute to Yvonne to respond.
Okay, for the lady who was talking about the civics, before I come to you, listen, you don't reap where you sow, you reap what you sow. Just keep sowing. And you keep saying that you're the first to go. Is that what's rewarded there? Find out what makes that place tick. You may not be the first to go. It may be more than that. Get involved in extra work activities. Don't just blindly go to work in the morning, go back at home. No. And then learn to package yourself. You're even with your uniform. And then as African women are so endowed, we have posterior endowment, anterior endowment. Listen, package yourself well. Yes. Do you get it? Anterior, posterior, in your uniform. Don't allow yourself sweat and then you have stage shake and comport yourself. Have plenty clean breath, smell good, and then show empathy. For the woman that talked about my programs, I will let you have, please connect with me on Instagram, excuse me ma'am, on Instagram, official Yvonne Ebi, send me a note. We have some masterclass online, but we also have on-site programs. We're going to be in Rwanda this year. We're thinking about Accra, but if we have enough people from Ghana, we'll come. If we have enough people from Ghana, we'll come. Yes, she's Ghana. So we do have those positions. After retirement, before retirement, people are sharing comments with you about what you do. Listen, social media is the way to grow. There are 5 billion Facebook users. That's where to be. Use your timeline and tell your story. Don't think that is where to be. Understand what social media is doing for us today. It's your showroom. It's your office. You have a timeline. Tell your story on social media. That's how they get to know what you're about. Tell your story of how you overcame, of how you fell here, of how you rebounded, of how you learned. Use your social media to make yourself visible. That's how it works today.
Thank you.
So I'm saying that for retirement, people are making comments on your posts. people are giving you feedback, pay attention to details. That's how I got to where I am. People give me comments, oh, I like the way you do this. Oh, I like the way you speak. Oh, is that your comment? And that's how I've been able to write books. I have 4 books, I have 3 more books coming from feedback. So pay attention to commentaries, to feedback, to comments, to what people are saying about, because the market tells you what to sell. That's how you know what they want to buy from you. Then you package it properly and put it out there. On the last note, they said to someone, what do you say? They said to him, what do you say? What do you do? He said, I'm a monocotyledon cremator. He said, what does that even mean? He said, sir, I roast corn. Learn to package yourself.
Thank you so much. All right, Dr. Sanda, can we just have 30 seconds of
30 seconds.
your final words for this session?
Okay.
Yes.
I talked about kindness before, but I just want to tell a brief, quick story. Several years ago, when I was doing my master's program, and I was, to do my final defense, because I was the only woman in my class, there were very few women in the faculty, but this particular lecturer in another department in my faculty, she knew the situation in my faculty, so she came to sit in on my oral defense, just so that there would be another woman in the room. I never forgot that. So let's always just show up for each other. We say don't fight. There are many ways of fighting. That's one way of fighting. Let's just learn to show up for others. Last word, mentoring. We talked a lot about mentoring, but networking is also key. This association is one network platform. We should look for other networks, whether it is in your professional life, whatever it is you have interest in. Look for network opportunities or create them if there are none.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Richard. 30 seconds.
Okay, I just want to say this. Actually, I was actually surprised to see that we have this number of women come for this conference. It's a no. Now, let me tell you something. Readers are leaders. That's the truth. You cannot grow more than what you know. The next conference, I want to see the place packed out. Somebody was saying, what was $150? What's that? Some of us were attending training that costed us 3-point-something million as a goal. What you need to understand is that growth, transformation is an inside job. The day is happening, nobody will know. When you are growing muscle as a man or as a woman or people see, but transformation, nobody sees it. Most of the time, the reason why some of you are not being promoted where you are, let me tell you, what's the definition of promotion? Promotion simply means overqualification for your position. The day you are overqualified for where you are, you will grow. If you know the kind of trainings that AIG has gone to, PhD in police force, it's funny. If you know the kind of amount of money she has spent, tell your neighbor, say grow. Tell your neighbor, learn. Tell your neighbor, attend leadership programs. That's the only way you can succeed. I know what will happen. When your time comes, God will make a way for you and you must shine.
Thank you, Dr. Uche. Mr. Kayode. Okay, Dr. Adaobi, 30 seconds.
Okay, for me, I would like to encourage the women to know that really there is no barrier to what you can become. For the men and the women, it's the same playing ground. It's the same thing, opportunities you have. The only difference is how you take advantage of such opportunities. So please, don't feel deficient, don't feel you have any shortcomings because you're a woman. What a man can do, a woman can also do. So please don't be disturbed by anything. Just be passionate about what you do, stay focused, stay determined, with hard work, and then you have the right qualities, whether you're a leader or you're an aspiring leader. Make sure even if you don't have them, you grow the quality. You must be ethical. Good ethics will help you, you will go far. We all know the difference between wrongdoing and right doing. So choose right doing. Choose what is right. And then also, integrity is very key. Very, very key. So I think integrity and then your ethics and passion and then honesty, of course, respect and others fully. I think you, of course, get to.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adaobi Wachuku, AIG.
Thank you very much. While my party wants to please develop this. Part development is the key. Very important. Someone said to me he was having, it was a conversation like this, and he said, in this year, this is July, right? Honestly, be honest with yourselves. How many times have you, let me even say, have you reviewed your CV? Have you added anything on your CV? No, who has? Seriously, there are people that your CV, you don't even remember when you touch it because you have not added any value to yourself. You have not improved yourself for you to be able to upgrade your CV. He said that somebody that does not touch his CV is like someone that is completely not there, not living. Living means improving yourself daily. And when you acquire additional knowledge, you go there and update your CV. I have also done this and done that. But when you acquire it, means you're not doing anything. So I leave you with this. Make sure every few months you improve your, even if it's a short course. Oh, don't wait for anybody to pay for you. Be confident. Recreate yourself as you are growing. That's for the senior women. Recreate yourself. Mentor young ones. And for the young ones, please, it's a regimented organization. Be respectful. Learn. Be a good mentee. Learn from your seniors. Don't look at your seniors as also a competition as, oh, she's too late too. Me, I shout a lot. I mean, even those of you that somebody is hiding ahead. But I tell you, I will correct you at that moment, and the next 30 minutes you see me, that person that you thought I was going to slap, I will still be like, okay, I feel very well done, you have done very well. That is who I am. That is correction. That's what the mother is. They say in Hausa that the hen kicks chicks, not because she does not love them, but because she wants to correct them to be good chickens. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's do one final thing. Let's do one final thing. I'm the chief marketer for News Central Television. And for that reason, I will say everybody, pick up your phone and make sure that you join us on News Central right now by subscribing to our channel. YouTube channel is being shared. Then you can go to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and everywhere, and join.
Okay, so did you hear me?
That's what. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm saying that I'm the chief marketer for News Central. Everybody, go on and subscribe to our YouTube channel and join us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all the other social media platforms. Secondly, there's a commitment. Women in police. 70 years in Nigeria. Next year, we will be there by the grace of God. News Central will be there. And my final word, I wrote it down. I need everybody, every woman in this room to stand up. Let's rise. Everybody, let's rise. Every woman in this room. Well, only women, but if you are the son of a woman, rise up too. Unless your mother is not a woman. If your mother is not a woman, don't bother. But if you are the son of a woman, you can rise up. So for those who are sons of women, you can say, I'm the son of a woman. But for you women, I want to hear you say, I am a woman. I am a natural. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I grow the world. I develop men. I raise princes and kings. I choose to empower my kind. From today, girls can look up to me. I will support and empower them. I will not stop till I get to the top. And I will always make sure I take a girl with me. So help me God.
Wow! AIG, Dr. Kayode has just given us a pledge for Abuja.
Yes, written.
Yes, so that we all.
So we want to reproduce it, right? So we want it written outside. Thank you.
please, we would like to give our guests, please just give your Instagram or social media handle that people can reach you. Just
on YouTube, Yvonne Ebby, YVONNEEBBI, Yvonne Ebby. On Instagram, on YouTube, Yvonne Ebby, YVONNE, surname EBBI. On Instagram, official Yvonne Ebby, the same name but official in front of it. And you can follow me on Facebook. I share lovely stories. Official Yvonne Ebby, YVONNEEBBI, Yvonne Ebby. That's on YouTube, same name on Facebook, same name on Twitter.
Okay, on Instagram, you can follow me on amb.utchay. amb.utchay. Same thing on YouTube. And you can follow our organization also on AfriWis, Afri_Wis. That's AFRIWWIS. Afri_Wis. Thanks. God bless you.
Thank you so much. We have come to the end of this. It's been a pleasure being here with you. God bless you, African officers. See you next